And welcome to another week of Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty of basketball to get to. You've got the Georgia Southern Eagles in the midst of Sun Belt play. We'll head out to Hanner and take a look at how the women did this past week. For the women, they've lost 7 in a row now. They're 0-6 in league play. Tough twosome to have at home. You had South Alabama, been really a hot team this year, and Troy's been one of the best teams in the Sun Belt over the past years. Georgia Southern scores a lot of points in the Troy game, but comes up a little short in that one, despite Alexis Brown having 34 points and having 8 3-pointers in that game. The loss drops the Eagles now to 0-6 in league play, and they are now 5-12 overall. For the guys, a couple of big wins in Alabama. They were able to beat Troy 90-82, and then turned around and beat South Alabama in overtime 88-86 in overtime over the Jaguars from South Alabama. In the Troy game, you had Tukey Brown going over 2,000 points for his career. In that game, there also were 7 different Eagles in double figures, so balanced scoring for the guys. And then against South Alabama, Tukey led the way with 26 points. You also had Monte Glenn with 18 points and 13 rebounds. And in that game, Monte Glenn notched his 600th career rebound. So the Eagles, 2 big wins there. They'll be back in action this week. We'll send you out for some highlights of Georgia Southern for you in a little bit. As for our area high school, the Portal Panthers, we haven't seen them in a while. They were home. They had McIntosh County Academy. They split. The girls were close. They actually had a lead in the fourth quarter, then gave it up, and they ended up losing that one 46-39. For the boys, they won 66-48. Up next for Portal, they'll be at Claxton on Friday and then home for ECI on Saturday. They also have Savannah Country Day there on Tuesday. I guess that starts things off there at home against Savannah Country Day. Plenty of teams home on Tuesday, including Statesboro High. They'll be hosting Wayne County in a big region matchup. For Statesboro High, the boys lost to New Hampstead on Friday. They fall to 18-5 overall and 3-2 in region play. They did turn around and beat Jenkins 94-55 there on Saturday night. So they were able to rebound. They're getting Zarion Griffin back from an injury that he had, a deep thigh bruise. So he's just now working his way back into the lineup. They're going to need him by the time the region tournament rolls around. As for the girls, they continue to roll right along. They are now 21-1 overall and 5-0 in region play. Up next, as I mentioned, Statesboro will be hosting Wayne County on Tuesday, and then they'll be at Ware County on Friday. Then they only have one more game left, that coming to next Tuesday on the road at South Effingham. As for the Bulloch Academy Gators, we'll have some highlights of Statesboro's game for you in a little bit. Sweep that they had from last week. And as for Bulloch Academy, we'll have some highlights from their game from Westfield for you a little bit later. But as for this past weekend, you had the girls losing by 2 and the boys winning 70-41. Those games against Frederica, we'll give you some highlights of that one. And also Friday, they play Pinewood coming up. For Bulloch Academy, another big region game. The boys this past weekend lost to the Heritage School 60-42. They actually, the BA victories this past week they split with Frederica. We'll have highlights of that game for you coming up, and the South Effingham Statesboro game from Friday, we'll have highlights of that one as well. Statesboro sweeping that one pretty easily. And as for Southeast Bulloch, wrapping up our region and our area, we had the girls winning at Windsor, an important region game in that one. They won 33-26, and then they beat Screven County 33-17. As for the boys, they lost to Windsor Forest 95-83, and then they turned around and beat Screven 85-46. Next up, the boys will host Islands on Tuesday. The boys right now 7-14 and 3-9. The girls 6-12 and 3-7. And then they will be hosting Groves on Friday. So plenty to get to. Highlights of Statesboro High, Bulloch Academy, and Portal coming up, as well as Georgia Southern. Stay with us. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles, as we mentioned earlier, the guys, good luck on the road in Alabama. They beat Troy and South Alabama. The South Alabama game being in overtime. In the midst of all that, Tukey Brown gets his 2,000th career point, and Monte Glenn gets his 600th career rebound. As for back home, the news not quite as good. Georgia Southern Lady Eagles have been in the midst of a swoon that continued. They've now lost 7 straight games. They lost to South Alabama and Troy this past Thursday and Saturday. Let's send you out for some of the highlights. The Georgia Southern Lady Eagles at home Thursday, taking on Troy in Sunbelt action. The Trojans out to an early lead. Skylyn Holmes, 2 of her 12. Haley Diaz-Allen answers with a long 2. Troy able to respond. Andrea Readers hits the baseline jumper. The Eagles right back. Alexis Brown with a great game. Here she's left alone, and she gets the friendly bounce for 3. Next, Tatum Barber will dial it up from the same side. Barber then hitting for another 3. She finished with 20 points. The Eagles 12 of 20 from long range. Brown then 3 more. She'd have a career best 34 points and 8 3-pointers in the game, but it wasn't enough as Troy able to pull away in the second half, and they win 97-81. So we move to Saturday. Georgia Southern taking on South Alabama. This one close here. South Alabama red hot from 3. Savannah Jones with the triple. Tatum Barber with the hot hand for the Eagles. She hits the 3 from the top of the key. But the Lady Jaguars dialing it up from long distance. Demaya Telemuk. Then it's Telemuk again, this time from the other side. Nothing but net. Tatum Barber was keeping the Lady Eagles in it. She bangs down another 3 from the corner. However, South Alabama simply too much on this day. Shaforia Kynes with what else? Yes, another 3-ball. And South Alabama wins 69-53. So next up for the ladies, they'll be at UT Arlington on Thursday and at Texas State on Saturday. For the guys, they'll be hosting UT Arlington. That game Thursday night will be a 7 o'clock tip-off at Hanner Fieldhouse, and then hosting Texas State. That game on Saturday will be a 5 o'clock tip-off. Stay with us. We'll get to some high school basketball coming up next.
What does it mean to have financial freedom?
At Queensboro Wealth Management, we're helping people figure that out. and giving them a plan to get there.
If you have a desire to take control of your finances and live with financial purpose,
We
will use every bit of our knowledge to help you.
and there's no cost to get started.
Download a free kit from our website, then give any of us a call. QWM is Queensboro Wealth Management. Let's begin today.
Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy. In-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, in-house lab. And introducing our new nurse practitioner, Melissa Beasley, as we now accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care. Well, the Statesboro High Blue Devils were able to sweep South Effingham pretty handily on Friday, and then they went on the road, and the boys weren't able to defeat New Hampstead. They fell. The girls remain undefeated in region play, which is big because the winner of the girls' regular season in the region will host the region tournament coming up in 2 weeks. So it looks pretty good right now for Statesboro to be able to host both the girls and the boys, because it counts on who the girls' winner is of the regular season in the region. Let's send you out for some of the highlights of their sweep against South Effingham. Statesboro High in a region matchup with South Effingham. The girls' game first, and this one was over pretty quick. Early on, Jemiah Jones buries the three. Next up, it's Bailey Roberts, the pull-up jumper from just inside the free throw line, and then outside to Jemiah Jones again. JJ with 13 in the game. Next, nice passing inside to Destiny Hartwell. And then on the steal, JJ goes in for two more. Statesboro totally in control in this one, up by as many as 25 in the first half. Lacey Robbins leading the way with 14. Statesboro wins 87-34. To the boys' game we go, and much the same. Statesboro out to a fast lead. Kobe Altman buries the three-pointer from the corner. Next, Joe Burns in transition gets this one to fall. More from the Blue Devils. Burns ahead to Devin Michael, and he spots Taylor Gilchrist inside. Next, Michael off the mark, follows his own miss. Statesboro out to a 17-2 lead. Nice back and forth here. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, next up for Statesboro, they'll be hosting Wayne County in a doubleheader coming up Tuesday, with the girls tipping things off at 6 o'clock, and then they'll both be on the road at Ware County on Friday. Stay with us. More high school highlights coming up next.
No credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
Well, the Bulloch Academy Gator boys have continued to roll right along in their region. They had a game on Friday night. Bulloch Academy boys and girls hosting Frederica. Let's send you out for the highlights. The Bulloch Academy Gators at home, doubleheader in a region matchup with Frederica. Early on, the nice skip pass over to Casey Ricketts, who hits the three. The visitors answer, Jada Scott, 2 of her 13 points. Bulloch Academy right back. Abby Newton pulls up and buries the three. Newton would finish with a game-high 15 points. Caitlin Todd answers for Frederica. Then nice passing here, and Abby Newton off the glass for two more. Gators up 5 at the half, second half. And Madeline Cowart buries the three. More from the Gators. Newton hitting for three more. And then Newton will stop and pop another three-pointer. Bulloch Academy would lead by 2 late in the game, but Frederica just proves to be too much. The Gators with a couple final chances, but Casey Ricketts three off the mark, and they'd fall 42-41. To the boys' game we go. And this one will be all Gators. Early on, Peerless Brown goes in for the layup. The Gators up by only 3. But Brown leading the charge. He'd score 12 straight points. Few of them coming in transition here. And then it's Brown. Pull up 3. And then right before the buzzer, he does it again. Bulloch Academy in command. Later, nice passing. Matt Childers finds Colin Davis for the layup. BA up by 18. We move to the second half and more from the Gators. Some of the bench players getting some PT in the fourth. Lyons McKinney buries the three-pointer. Next, it's Chaz Collins. The nice moves inside for the layup. And finally, it's Michael Corbett in the left side. He buries the three, and the Gators roll 70-41. Well, unfortunately, the news not as good on Saturday as Bulloch Academy lost to Pinewood there on the road in Belleville. So swept there, the boys losing their first game of the season. Next up, they'll be hosting Pinewood this Friday. The girls getting things underway at 6 o'clock, and the boys will be playing immediately afterwards. The boys did also lose to Heritage, so that's 2 straight losses for the Bulloch Academy boys, who are now 16-3 overall and 4-1 rather in region play. The girls 2-3 as they get set for Pinewood on Friday. Stay with us. We'll wrap things up. We'll head out to Portal coming up next. Come visit us locally here in Statesboro at Piedmont Loop beside Walmart.
Friday night lights to early morning deer stands, Anderson's General Store in Statesboro is your tailgating and hunting headquarters. Boots from Ariat, Georgia Boot, Irish Setter, Wolverine, and more. We have a pair for you. Check out our Costa and Ray-Ban sunglasses. And apparel from Columbia, Carhartt, and Drake. Dove, ducks, deer, we have all your hunting needs. And tailgate with a Big Green Egg or Traeger grill. Pack in the flavor with delicious sauces and rubs. Haul it all home with a utility trailer. Anderson's General Store, a general store, and so much more.
Well, we haven't heard from the Portal Panthers in a while. As for the boys, after losing 6 of 7, they have rebounded nicely. They've won 3 of their last 4, including a victory this past Saturday as they were hosting McIntosh County Academy. The girls were in this one until the fourth quarter, let it slip away. Let's send you out for the highlights. Portal hosting McIntosh in a region matchup. Second half action. The girls, the Bucks taking a 6-point lead, but Portal would fight back. Colby Moats starts the hot streak as she hits the 3. More from Moats as she buries a couple of long-range 2-pointers. One shoe size too big as her toe on the line hits another 2. Portal on a 14-4 run, capping things off. Tiana Coleman with the runner. Portal up 32-28, but the Bucks close things out on a 16-3 run, and they'd win 46-39. To the boys' game we go, and first half action. Portal working hard on the glass here. Bo Spence off, but Deontay Wiggum with the putback and the foul. Next, Deontay White finds Wiggum for 2 more. White then steps back and hits the 3 to give Portal a 10-point lead. McIntosh able to come back to make it close. But Portal right back on the other end. White blowing past the defense. 2 more of his 15 points in the game. Connor Washington would then lay up here. 2 of his 12. Then it's Washington for 3. Portal up by 11. White inside, and then a nice pass from Washington to Wiggum. Portal up by 7 at the break. Second half, they'd pull away. Nice pass from Dax Reddick to Jalen Williams. Then KJ Hayes inside 2 of his 16. Finally, a nice couple plays by White. First penetrating, then off the backdoor cut. He'd go in for 2 more, and Portal rolls 66-48. So the boys are now 11-8 overall, 4-2 in region play. The girls fall to 3-15, 1-5 in region play. Up next, they'll be hosting Savannah Country Day on Tuesday. Then on Friday, they'll be at Claxton. Saturday, they host ECI. So a busy week for Portal. And getting back to Southeast Bulloch, we mentioned them in the top of the show. The boys are now 7-14, 3-9. The girls are 6-12 and 3-7. The boys lost to Windsor Forest. The girls won. They both swept Screven County. So up next for them, they'll be hosting Islands on Tuesday, and then they'll be hosting Groves on Friday. That'll wrap it up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.